What's going on, everybody? We got XCFL Primetime action with your boy Regan, and here with me I have Tosh in the booth. Tosh, how you doing, buddy?
Doing good. Ready for some late night games. Getting ready
Yes,
for advance.
sir. Yeah, we've all been ready for advance. I know some of us are on bye, so man, when that bye week comes, it comes a little extra slow, huh?
Yeah, I got a game. Got bye week, so hoping for some speedy advance.
Yeah, man. Hopefully. Well, we should have a couple good games here. Got one guy that you know pretty well. You got Randy in NWS. What do you expect to see in that game?
Cheese. Lot of trying to get his wide receivers the ball as quick as he can. Trying to get overbay them stats. He's done pretty well at doing that. We'll see if he can squeak out a win while he's trying to get after those stats. He's got uh, he's got the one of the new guys, so we'll see what happens there. And then we've got the classic Brian versus Van matchup, which should two top dogs in the NFC.
Yeah, that's quite a matchup there over in Dallas right now. As old Kyler Murray just tried to huck it into about quadruple coverage, and it got knocked down, surprisingly. Almost picked off. I know Anthony Brown was there along with about four other Dallas defenders. That's something they like to do in Carolina is huck it deep.
Yeah, I mean they've got the playmakers to do that kind of stuff. So if they're gonna get downfield, and you've got the two running backs there that will tote the rock probably later in the game, but they wanted to take their chances downfield. You'll see a lot of that on the right side with the Vikings. Same thing, chuck it downfield and then see what the running back can do later. Passing to open up the run.
That does seem to be the way this Madden. It's if you've got that deep ball, it makes the defense honest and they can't crowd the box. And a nice play there. Got a blitz on first down. Shaq Thompson drops Dak Prescott for a loss of 11 yards on the play. Brings up second and 21.
Looked like that classic cover four quarters and middle linebacker blitzes. That's one of those that you need to ID the mic beforehand, and you can mess up because you can flip it and have either one of those middle linebackers. That's a classic. That's a jack play right there. Bet you Brian got that off old Mr. Hope.
He's stealing Jack's defensive playbook and Nick's offensive playbook. That's just not a bad combination, honestly.
Nah, it's good to learn from.
And it looks like the Bengals are starting their first offensive possession.
Now, one thing for the Bengals being new, I mean, they will stick to that run game. Played him early in the season, and he'll stick to it. You'll be in positions where most people in the XCFL would not run the ball, and you can sneak a couple nice runs in there doing that.
I agree, and that's playing him a couple times. You and I are pretty familiar with Hawkeye. I've played him, I think, twice this season now. Um, I mean, he's going to run. He's very dedicated to the run. He's not a fast-paced offense. He admits it himself. He's not looking to score in a hurry. He's looking to basically play the ground game, grind out the clock, and force you to beat him on offense. So, as much time as he takes, it rests up his defense, and it works up pretty well for him. But against this defensive front, you got Joey Bosa getting a sack there, bringing up 4th and 13 for the Bengals. Sam Decker's not used to taking that kind of pressure, is he?
No, he's definitely not used to the Bosa, and luckily not both Bosas, but you got Hunter Bosa in there, and NWS will bring that heat. He's going to use their linebackers and let the elite players make the elite plays.
We got on the
Well,
other
well,
game.
well.
Ah,
What do we
Boone
have going on, fellas? How's everybody doing tonight?
doing
We're
real
good.
good. How's that headspace that you're renting
Fantastic.
in Brian's house? Is it looking nice this time of year?
Well, it's not. It's gotten pretty small since I've left his division. It's not the
Ah, that's too
quite.
bad.
It's not quite the same. It's not as comfortable as it used to be.
Ah, so you're getting a
But
little bit
I
of
can tell you
depreciation
what,
on that investment.
just a little bit, just a little bit. Usually, property is pretty good to invest in. Clearly, not in his house. In his headspace. It's cool though.
Speaking of
While we were
Brian,
talking, though, Brian got the ball back on the interception on the angle route, and
yep,
he's putting together a nice little drive over there.
that's a big deal for Brian there. Those interceptions on the angle routes are so rare. I honestly hardly ever see it. It's good when you see it because you know that those linebackers are playing it better. And it looks like there's a flag on the play in Dallas. It looks like it's on the Panthers. Matt Paradis seems to be upfield. That's the problem with those RPOs.
Yeah,
This
those
is
alert
really awesome.
RPOs. Those alert RPOs are made so that you have to basically pre-snap read it. It's not meant to be a full play action. And on that play, the play action went left. He tries to throw back to the right, and it's going to take a little bit of extra time.
This is
Especially,
really smooth looking, really clean. I like this. I like this. I got this on my TV. It looks. I feel like I'm in the red zone center.
hey, good stuff, man. Glad to hear it. Wow, we got a big run by Dalvin Cook off the right side. Nice handoff there. Goes for about 10 yards and a first down for the Vikings. We got both teams in the red zone right now. It is like Boone said, it is XCFL red zone at its finest.
Kyler Murray. Wow, what a rough one.
Ooh, I don't know though. It kind of looked like it was off the ground, so we'll see if the booth decides to review it. What's it look like? Yeah, I don't know. What do you think, Boone? Do you think it hits the ground?
I think he's down. There's really nothing down to it or nothing about it. I mean, he's saying once you kind of look away from the play and you kind of mentally think it's over and you
Mm-hmm.
look back and there's a fumble, usually he was down. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
Right
man,
now, I
this
mean, we
is
got two of the most. I mean, besides Lamar, we got two of the most mobile quarterbacks in the league right now, and they are getting beat up.
And we have two of the best pass rushes in the league on the other side on defense. So I mean, it really is
I
a
was gonna say.
yeah. It's all about that defense, man. I'm telling you.
Don't know if you played Demarcus Lawrence. He,
Oh yeah, no,
he
no,
gets off
yeah,
of blocks pretty fast.
yeah, bro. He had 7 sacks against me, just him by himself. I gave him that MOP nomination last year, but I also
I
did it
you
for
know,
really,
Saquon too because he ran like 400 yards on me. So
Jesus, there he is again. Oh
yeah,
my God.
how many sacks is that for him so far? Did anybody see? Is that
three
two,
Three.
three?
sacks
Wow.
first quarter.
Ooh, and a shanked kick by Graham Gano. That'll hurt the averages. It's a guy with all kinds of kick power, just couldn't put it through the post, and this game's still 0-0 in Dallas. Going to Minneapolis now. Ooh, NWS almost gets it to the corner, but it is dropped by Thielen, who you'll note is coming off a suspension. He came back in week 6. He kind of hit the ground running. He's had some really good years. We haven't seen anybody quite like Thielen take over the XCFL with so much passion, probably since Devontae Adams. Wouldn't you say, guys? Usually we see those speedier guys with the yards.
Yeah, he's one of those sure catch kind of guys. He's got the X factor. Now NWS has two X factor wide receivers along with an X factor quarterback, so you're going to see a lot of opportunities for some sweet animations.
Speaking of
Yeah,
sweet
definitely.
animations, are you seeing Zeke on this left side? That is quite a run there. He breaks it up over midfield to the 22-yard line, and the Cowboys are already in the red zone.
One
You
thing
know,
I even messaged NWS. I mean, not too long ago. I want to see Overbay use his legs a little bit. He's
Yeah.
had he's got like no rushing stats this whole entire season, and I mean he's got the X factor. He's got the abilities. They're all running abilities. I think he's just afraid to bust it out. But right now he's got 6 rushes for 19 yards. Where I think Kyler Murray, we're going to see him use his uh, special athleticism to his advantage on the
Now,
other side.
Tosh, I figured out why Boone showed up for this broadcast. We've got two of the best mobile quarterbacks in the game, and you know how Boone likes his mobile quarterbacks. Ain't that right?
you know,
Ain't that right?
I don't. I'm not a. I just feel like our rules need to be adjusted slightly, just a little
Oh,
bit.
here it goes. He's on the
I just
soapbox.
Regan knows I've had to reach out to him personally
Yeah.
to ask what he does and for a little bit of advice. I just I and I think part of it is because my quarterback's not at the level. Obviously, Viper's not. Oh my God, look at the openness.
And we have
Viper's not.
Curtis Samuel taking it to the house. dancing on him.
Another
Holy
interception.
smoke.
Right now, the defenses are killing it. I mean, it's 2 interceptions for the Panthers, and then now the big long pass to Samuel. But man,
That's crazy.
Van not taking advantage of getting the early stops.
Oh, but Boone, by all means, go ahead and talk about your backup quarterback. Sorry to interrupt you there.
Hey, look, real quick. I just noticed like today, Chadwick. You know, his Deshaun Watson gets out the pocket at the drop of a dime.
He
I
does.
saw Kyler Murray get out that pocket in the drop of a dime. So they have the ability to kind of wait there and just like, okay, someone's breaking free, I'm out. I just feel like we have to show some love to our mobile quarterbacks. I just feel like we should be allowed to do just a little more,
Yeah,
a little more leniency.
and I will admit that fast break superstar ability is really clutch these days because, with our rules, depending on the pressure in order to be able to run, that fast break really helps because you got to be able to drop out of the pocket at the drop of a hat, essentially. So guys like Lamar, if there's pressure, I can pretty much rip it out and he's gone. So to me, that is good for those guys that have that ability. But because it's rare, like your guy Viper doesn't have it. I know Overbay doesn't have it yet. Tosh said that
Overbay's gonna get it.
didn't
Watch.
Tosh said
Yeah.
Baker's like one overall away from getting it too. Which I mean, fast break to me for quarterbacks is the best easily because you just get
Okay,
this.
okay. Did we just see this pass that Prescott made? Like he
Yep.
rolls out the pocket, backpedaling all the way to the left. He's not planting his feet at all. He throws off his back foot to a flat on the right hand side and somehow delivers it on target with strength. That's crazy, man.
Oh, but Madden 20 has that has the engine where if you go back farther, that decreases the accuracy of the throw. Don't you know that, Boone? I mean, it's like, nah, I'm a little tongue in cheek, a little bit facetious, but it's yeah, tough stuff, man. But I mean that Carolina defense has given Prescott quite a bit to look at here in these first couple of quarters.
Now, what does Lamar have? You say it's called fast break.
Yeah, fast break and I think it's called quick
I
reads. I
think
think, or I don't know what it's called. I think it's
I
fast
think the
break.
one that Baker's getting is called escape artist.
Oh, escape artist. That's it. That's it. Yep.
All right.
Mm,
Pretty sure escape artist is the one that gives you the boost when you're coming out of the pocket on a scramble.
Gotcha.
God, I need that.
And then fast break, I think, is like on a quarterback designed run, he makes faster reads and excuse me, the defenders like react slower.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay, looks like we have the Dallas Cowboys in the XCFL red zone. In the time we were talking, it turns out looks like the Vikings have scored, making it 3-0 over there in Minneapolis. And Dak Prescott trying to fire out to his receiver Robbie Anderson, but cannot make the catch in coverage. Looks like not JC Jackson, but the other Jackson out of LSU, Dante Jackson. Now, Boone, since you've played a full cycle with Brian, what would you say are your keys to the game in order to stop Brian's offense?
I mean, honestly, it's a hard one to answer because to keep it just 100% transparent, his game has evolved completely through not only a necessity to win, but also through getting nonstop, fines and suspensions from the league. He can't exactly play the way he wants to play. So he has become a more well-rounded player. But I mean, McCaffrey is obviously the person you have to watch. But I mean, with Kyler, he's looking to expand that because he's got the speed to throw the underneath routes and take them a mile down the field, and he's also got the speed to get out the pocket and make something happen or just hand the ball off. So honestly, you kind of want to just make him throw the deep ball and hope your corners can make a play on it. That's what I would do against him.
Makes sense.
Brian's one that's going to use the quarterback no matter what. He's going to use that quarterback. He's going to use his legs. He always has, no matter if it's a 70 speed or 90 speed quarterback, he's going to try to use that as that extra weapon too.
Yeah, and then not to mention when you get one-on-one with a Samuels or a DJ Moore or any of the fast players he's got, he's gonna hit a juke move and then take off, and once you get behind him, it's a wrap. So That's why I would just try and force a deep play and hope your corners can make the play.
And that's what's funny is he's got quite a run game back there now. He's got Christian McCaffrey and he has Levy and Bell. That's quite a backfield if you're the Panthers, and you got the speed up top. I mean, that's an offense that's almost impossible to stop.
I'd like to see him use some of that shotgun two back and see if he'll do the where his running back motion out in the flats, and where he's got the option to hand it off to Le'Veon Bell or throw it out to McCaffrey. See if he does some of that kind of stuff. Get both those guys on the field.
Exactly. I know that Brian messaged me earlier about trying to see if he's able to put two running backs in the pistol formation. I'm like, yes, Brian, you can put two running backs in the pistol formation. But because I know how some have the fullback, and I'm like, nah, dude, you can put two halfbacks in there. Like, we don't care. But you got to use the best of your personnel. I know we even let guys then the last season put guys in the slot. Like if you have a really good running back, utilize him in the slot too. I mean, just different. We're all about finding creative ways to get your guys on the field.
You know what surprised me this year? I don't feel like we had that breakout rookie receiver star this year. Usually there's some good receivers. Don't get me wrong with the Ask You kid. There's some good receivers, but there's not that. Like last year, Taj Beverly minus that injury is gonna be top 5 in the league in receiving for the most part. We don't
Yeah,
have that guy this year, which is really shocking.
the rookie receivers took over the league last year. Where those were the dudes that they were better than the guys that the established guys. Like right now, we still see those non-Madden still showing up in the top 10.
And I think that's really cool
Yeah,
because
like even
it is good to see because you want the veterans to show up as well as the young guys, because they have a lot of they have a lot of value in the real life game as well as they should as well as the XCFL.
yeah, for sure. Like you want to see that next generation coming up, but right now, like especially out of this last class, and speaking as someone who had a top pick and took a receiver, I don't see the next guy. I don't see the Taj Beverly. I don't see the Barry Brooks. I don't see the Rawls or the Dixon Bishops. So speaking as one of those guys, I'm a little disappointed in this year's class. There's Overbay and the rest.
Yeah, I agree too. I think it's a lot going to rely on development. It's they're a lot lower overalls. The draft class is a little less saucy. Guys aren't as excited about their dudes, but I think they do seem to progress faster. Like if you get an upgrade, and again those dev upgrades, you get a guy from normal to star, he shoots up 10 overall points because each upgrade's only like 2,000. So, I mean it is a totally different game, and I think it's taken a lot of a learning curve, and some guys like me are still not getting the learning curve because
And if you're playing those guys, also they're going to get those extra XP and they're going to get those scenarios opportunities.
Go ahead and get back on the stream now that I'm downstairs. All right, full screen. I like it. or Samuels. He's got the speed, and that's I'm not saying his offense isn't there, but I think we're really underestimating how good the receivers are for Minnesota. Like that, he's got these two white receivers, and I've never seen white receivers, and now all of a sudden he has two of them, and they're amazing. Like these guys, I've had to guard them; they're amazing. I just think that he has the better long term setup.
Well, he's
And
also, I mean,
I'm
Scotty
back.
Miller was like a 63 overall rookie that he traded for because of his speed and gets the dev upgrade for 20K XP. Then the next year then he bumps him up to superstar with a Pro Bowl, and then he's an X Factor the next season, and now he's just, I mean, one of the top wide receivers in the league in like 2.5 seasons, where he was a 63 overall, just a guy with like 93 speed.
Yeah, he's becoming a stud. And when I tell you I'm watching and I'm having to step on and guard him, and I think at the time Thielen was out,
Yeah.
and I knew he was going to this kid, and it did not matter. He was making the catches regardless. This kid is really hard to guard. I don't see Samuels making that kind of impact that he did.
And then he got that Gathers as a free agent, young guy, 23, 24, and he gets Dev Snead a couple games and bumps him up and gets P. So it's where you want to dev some wide receivers. Minnesota gets the luck of the roll there.
So what you're saying is I should send my guys over to him for a season and then
Send them
bring them
over.
on back. All
Yep.
right, little summer camp. I like it.
There you
Exactly.
go. And you got a pretty good quarterback too. So it's a good young core over there. The quarterback needs good receivers, and to have and I know he's got Herndon in there too as a tight end. So he's definitely in good hands. I'm back now, boys. Looks like I had a uh, little snafu with the something. I don't even know. I think it was my headset just decided to cut out. I'm like, I don't hear them anymore. I don't something's not right. So, but the stream kept going, so it will got
As
a
long
new
as the stream's
place.
rolling.
Yeah, bro, got a new place, got a new apartment, so we're trying to iron out the kinks. This one will kind of be a little.
Congrats, sir.
Thank
Congrats.
you, thank you. This one will be a little kinky. This is our kinky production.
Hmm.
Always have that first one with a few bumps, and then the second one we'll iron them out, and should be good to go. Looks like we've dropped a few frames. We're about 30% right now. I might need to look at other options, either plugging in, but we'll see. All right,
It's not a
boys.
problem.
Yeah, we're still kicking up though. So games status of the Vikings Bengals game. Looks like the Vikings have pulled out pretty far there. Got 17-3 lead. Carolina Panthers 14, Dallas 3. Dallas trying to kick a field goal to bring it to a one-score game. With a minute left in the second half, or the first half, excuse me, and he shanks it. It's the second missed field goal we've seen. I wonder if we're seeing a little bit of lag here in that Panthers Cowboys game. Missed a couple kicks so far.
What was the score you had on the Vikings game?
17-3.
Okay, that's not what I have on my screen. Fantastic. I never thought the internet here was that good. I'm not gonna lie to you, but this is pretty bad. It's fine though. We have some guys in the chat. We got Josh
Yeah, we
over the
do.
pond. What's going on, Josh? Welcome,
No, that's
welcome.
that's Josh Higgins. That's Higgy. That's I Higgy.
That's Higgy. You're
Yeah,
right.
that's the good Josh. That's not the trash
My
Josh.
God. How do you guys do this? This reading real people's names and different usernames and know who they are? Because you guys will be when I'm watching it usually as like just a viewer. You guys know exactly who everyone is.
Yeah, yeah. It's I just know I kind of pick it up along the way. All right, McNeely. I know that's a one guy. I think he's that Coach Boone dude. I don't know the guy that's like he's got some
That's
trash
actually
quarterback. I don't even
so.
know.
Wow, you know what? We're not gonna do this. There's no reason to be like this today. It's not about Viper and his amazing comeback story from the mud and everything.
From the
We're not going to
mud.
discuss all that.
All
From the
right.
mud, sir. He's
From the
forgotten.
coke. I think he was shipping
Yeah.
coke or something, man. Like I don't
Wow.
know.
So I didn't know he was a drug dealer. Didn't catch that in my draft interview with him.
Kind of missed that. It was like,
Yeah,
oh man, kind
it's
of.
crazy.
Whoa. All right, we got a score here for Cincinnati. Tyler Eifert diving in. Robert Morlock. I hear Coach Boone. Yes, you do, sir. I am very sorry for that. We also do too. We're struggling. We're struggling right along with you, Rob. Send all complaints to Coach Boone at noonegivesashit.org.
Hey, look, hold on. That's my favorite owner in the league. I've been very vocal about that. The
That's
content
true.
he puts out
It
is
is.
absolutely
It's
some of the
fire.
best that we have, and it's what makes our entire league like kind of dope to be a part of.
It is,
When
dude.
people go that far, it's
Oh
really
yeah.
awesome.
And my favorite part was how he got the family involved too, man. Like I love how the XCFL is full of guys that have families. We're all grown ass dudes, and we're all playing the game and having fun, and it's just what makes our
Big ass
community great.
kids.
Oh yeah,
Big ass
yeah,
kids.
dude. And like it's a man, that's a setup. I keep telling him what he needs to do is they need to like pay it forward. Like whoever has to have the Cincinnati Bengals gets to inherit like all the social media stuff from the previous Bengals organization. Like it's like it's the torch that
the
gets
drop, the
passed.
backdrop.
Yeah, the backdrop,
Oh, got you.
the jersey, like everything. Like it's like setting a care package. Like here you go. Sorry you have to deal with this piece of shit franchise. Like you're gonna make it cool though, because you got all this kinds of sauce. Like
You'll be
it's
ready. Nice little setup kit. Welcome to the Bengals.
exactly. Yeah, man. It's
Till we
it's
boot somebody, then it's gonna be a problem. We gotta get that stuff back.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. It would be it would end there. The chain would just kind of die off.
Yeah, because like look at the Seahawks had 2, 3 owners now so far.
Yeah, surprisingly, because they started with a pretty decent roster. Like it's a we got XCFL reloaded. Our That's probably our loving commission, Nicholas. Why is Van not using Zyke? And then it's like Zeke.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great question. I don't know,
I
dude.
think
Why isn't he using Zyke?
Van's pressing, and he's like 8 of 18 right now.
Yeah.
He's down 14-3. He's thrown 2 interceptions. I don't think Zeke was ever really part of the game plan.
Mm.
And then once you get down a little bit, I mean that might be a weakness for Van, getting away from that run game for sure.
Meanwhile, we're seeing Kyler Murray huck it deep and gets popped again. Who else? Mr. DeMarcus Lawrence. That's his 4th sack of the half. He's on pace. He's the one bright spot of this Cowboys team. He's on pace for 8 total sacks in the game. That would be absurd. What's our current XCFL record for sacks in a game? Somebody either hit us up
I
on
believe I
YouTube
just
or.
gave that up. I believe I just gave that up. I want to say
Oh
I
man!
want to say it was Brian Burns, right? And
Wow!
I just like, dude, I want to say it was like, now I had it for a while too. It was 8. I know that for a fact. I had it for a while. It was 8.
Wow!
Let me see. I actually just took a picture of the game's record. So, game record for sacks in the thing. Yep, DeMarcus Lawrence. Okay, it was Van. DeMarcus Lawrence at 8.5. I was sitting at 8 with the dude I got from Brent last year, and then I guess that 8.5 happened this year.
You got a dude from
So we're
Brent
actually
last
watching
year?
the guy.
Oh, you're talking
Yeah,
about
he
the
had
Oh yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
DN.
Yeah,
I
the guy that you
traded
traded. Yep. Yeah,
Watson for, yeah.
Watson. Yeah, that was a heck of a trade. Yeah,
It worked out.
people hated on you for that trade, man. But I saw him every game. He was there. Like he was the one making pressure and making that defense better. Like I saw it.
Yeah.
I'll definitely
I
I
learned
approve. I like that. I like that move for you.
I learned early on DNs are the most important player on your team. I don't care what anyone. Your defensive end. If you don't have a premier defensive end, you're not winning anything. You won't win anything because a premier defensive end can make an average defense above average just by getting pressure on the right tackle.
I would totally agree. And it's if you have a good user, that's what's kind of cool this year is there is a little bit of user skill involved with using the defensive line. It's about timing. Um, and I mean, I know me and Tosh don't have it because we're sitting here using linebackers. I'm like, screw that. I don't want to mess with that. I just let my piece of crap DNs go wild with their 70 pass rush moves. But it's it's you know it. I do like the direction they took it. It isn't just mashing buttons. Whoever can mash buttons better. It's more like, I guess, a timing of mashing buttons, so it's slightly improved. But I don't know. What you guys think about
So
that? Do you guys think it is timing,
I'm
or do
a,
you think it's more just it's still mashing buttons?
I'm gonna tell you a little tip because and when we first started, I was looking and reaching out to people to try and get some advice on how to make Aaron Donald better. I'm not gonna give the person's name away because I don't want to give away whatever his trade secrets are. But we're gonna tell him what he did. So his advice to me was, he doesn't use the DN. His DN was one of the top DNs in the league in sacks. He was like, I don't use him. I just let him go,
Hmm.
and that just happens on its own. So it's not even about using your DN. The moment I stopped using Aaron Donald as much, his sacks almost tripled on the season.
Wow,
So it's
that's
not
kind of
always
impressive.
user.
Yeah, it's that's wild to me, you know, because it's different. All right, it looks like Higgy might have outed you. He said, "You're welcome, Boone." So it might have been Higgy that gave you the. He's just like, "I got you, bro." And he also did
Hey,
give you
look,
the key.
I'm not gonna
He gave you the
confirm.
key in the YouTube chat. He says Higgins equals Higgy. So just for all that had a question, and Boone.
I should have guessed that. You know, now looking back on it, context clues are pretty important, right? Reading's fundamental.
Yeah, it's cool, bro. It's cool. I mean, it's you saw Josh. No, you saw Josh and like panicked and was like, "Oh crap, it's Josh." And you know, it's okay. No, it's the good
You know
Josh.
what? I should
We
have
have a good
known it
Josh.
wasn't because over the pond Josh is Hannah because his name is on every freaking Super Bowl banner that he has. I've
Yeah,
seen it like 4 or 5 times now. So
that's true. And Higgy also requests his street cred for recruiting Rob. Makes sense. So that he deserves a sliver of credit for recruiting Rob. I would agree. I wonder. I wonder what the camaraderie is there with the content. If there's ever like, you know, a rivalry of who's going to make the cooler tweet, who's going to sauce up the other guy. I remember the Twitter wars got pretty wild there when they had their
so they
the
know
office
each other. Am I
showdown.
correct? They work
They
together.
do. Yep. They
So
work in
you
the
know
same
it'd be
office.
cool if y'all played in the same house, like on TVs next to each other, and recorded and did a camera on you guys with a little trash talk. That'd be pretty dope.
I don't know if they want to be like that close to each other because you know I know that like in the middle of the game it probably gets a little heated. I don't want like you know we turn into like a I don't know XCFL Royal Rumble kind of thing, but we'd
No. I promise you, you wanted me and Brian next to each other during
oh
one of
that
our
would have been
games last year. I
great.
promise you
The
wanted that.
angry
That would have been
whisper.
good stuff.
Oh my gosh, it would have been hilarious. It would have been we would have seen like XCFL WWE. I mean it would have been beautiful.
Oh, that would have been awesome. So
Brian just
I
runs
think
out
it
in his
could give
neck
way to
brace.
some good. I think it would have given way to some pretty interesting content for us.
Interesting is definitely the word for it.
We're
Look at
getting a couple good
Overbay move.
battles right now. Van's got it 21-10. He's only down 11 um with the Panthers having the ball, and then NWS is up 17-10 on the Bengals, and he's got the ball around midfield with about 6 minutes left in the third. So both games at about the same time left on the clock. So see
Should
what
be in
happens here at a
for
big turning point. The first second drive out of the half.
yeah, it's funny. The scores are almost identical too. It's a what are the chances of that? One's got three
Let me
points
see.
more though. And Nick Larson joining
NWS
the
just
conversation just a little bit late, saying it's always been timing. So he says it's always been timing, and Zeke Zip says, "Who? Anybody know who Zeke Zip is?"
that's Syracuse pride.
Pride. Clowney was on a mission to break the record today. Oh man,
Yeah, that sounds about right. He sure was. Up until I put Trent Williams on, and when Trent Williams went over there, I didn't hear from Clowney again. So let's just keep that just keep that in mind.
put Trent Williams over there. Didn't hear Clowney. Clowney's
James
like Clowney
Yeah.
Weathers
disappeared.
scores for NWS. 94 speed, 90 acceleration. That star dev, 22-year-old that I think he was honestly, I don't think NWS drafted him. It says he was the 9th pick of the 5th round. I think he found him in free agency. He
Who?
Who
was
is this?
NWS Weathers,
Weather.
number 87. I think he had a dev scenario against you, Boone.
I'm sure he
I
got
think NWS. Yes, he's a second year. He's a second-year wide receiver. He's 22 years old. So this is his second year. So he's not a rookie, but he got the dev scenario against Boone, which gave him 10K XP, and now he just hit like another 40-yard touchdown against the Bengals. And I mean, this guy. You think about Thielen and Scotty Miller. You got Irv Smith on that team for the
Irv Smith. That's the guy I was thinking of.
the
Yeah.
Vikings.
It's
At
a good tight end.
and NWS has always been a tight end slut. So
This James Weathers kid, right?
yes.
You know what's crazy? Apparently he played for me last year. I have no clue who he is.
He was
three
on
catches,
your
40
team.
Boone
three
missed a
catches,
diamond in the rough.
47 yards, 2 touchdowns, and here he sits.
It's okay. You cut my
Get the
starting
dev
strong
scenario
safety
down.
too, but he's kind of
That's
trash. You
That's
cut
wonderful.
what's his name? No, he's that guy from Washington. He was like a really slow safety. Do you remember you cut like a really young slow safety that first season? And I was like, I found him in
Apke.
free agency. Yeah, he's
I
my
cut
starting
a dude named
safety.
Apke, and
Nah,
I saw a
Apke?
dude named Apke. I
What?
think that was him. I cut a
No.
dude named Apke, and he's on the 49ers now, I think.
Apke's a freak, bro. No. I think you're thinking of
Nah, it might not have been him. And who
No,
was
I'm
it?
talking about like
There was a safety that I put on my practice squad, and he was stolen almost immediately, and I was just like, oh, fantastic.
Probably should have been there. I put a guy there this year, a wide receiver, is a 59 overall, thinking, you know what,
Yeah,
picked him like in
me
the
too,
4th
bro.
round.
Yeah, me too.
Just gonna let him sit there, and then boom, he was gone. Like the first time, I was like,
Yep.
damn, somebody's
Yeah.
thirsty for 59 overall wide receiver.
Yeah, me too, bro. I had one that was like kind of a weird route running guy. He didn't have any catching, but he had like 70s route running, and he was already gone. Like the Bengals took him pretty much day one. I was like, oh, all right, that's cool. Like, it's some guys they're like practice squad hunters, man. They'll snipe you.
Yeah,
Buyer
for
beware.
sure. And they don't just let them sit. They want them to come play, and that's
And that's good though. I
Everybody
mean, if
has
you're a
their
rebuilding team, go get that young talent. Go get those young guys to come in. Taylor Rapp, thank you.
there
Nick,
he is.
Nick
Yep.
coming in clutch. Good stuff. Yeah, Taylor Rapp, bro.
Where is he now?
I think I took him from Boone and then let him go. Yep, that's it. He's my starting safety because I have trash for teams. Higgy said
Who
no.
plays for you now?
Taylor Rapp, he's my starting safety.
Okay.
He's like 70. You can probably go peep him out on Daddy Leagues. He's kind of cheeks, but he shows up to play. He's kind of one of those guys. It's like good dude, A1 guy, but not really a. Oh wow, Scotty Miller out there in the open field. He's tough to bring down. But to your point,
28-10 now, Carolina over
Very
Dallas.
safety kind of guy.
yeah, very strong safety. Yeah, definitely not like a high safety with the athleticism or
But yeah,
anything.
I did see him. Like he was at the time. I think he was 21. So like when he's 21 and I think like a 65, 67, you're more likely thinking not to cut him. But at the same time, I was just like, look, at 85 speed, I just can't see him starting for me.
Hey, Nick said, dude, right on cue. Nick says, good sub linebacker. Exactly. He's kind of a sub linebacker for me. I kind of throw him there, but a little slow to play deep. Yeah, he is.
Right.
But
Get
Higgy
torched on anything deep.
Higgy in the chat's pretty funny. He's like, no, we would end up not being friends anymore. To Boone's suggestion that we have a little Royal Rumble here for the XCFL, but hence Regan. Oh, but a little slow to play deep. Hence Regan being 2-5. All right, thanks Nick. Appreciate that. That's yes, thank you. My safeties suck and they give up everything because they're slow. Yeah, I won't lie. We're not good at football. Like you guys seen John Christ when he gives that like. That the football coach, it's like being honest. He's like, I have 3 white receivers.
Yep.
We're 0-8. We're not good at football. That's my team, man. We're not good at football. But we have Julio Jones.
He talks a lot of. WS talks a lot of smack about me in the main chat, but he's always text messaging me for information. He just sent me a message that for some reason Overbay needs 300 yards and a win, but Overbay's already X Factor. I think NWS might be. I think he's misguided on something. Maybe he's angry. Overbay's angry, but I don't think that really matters that much.
No, maybe it's
Well,
like
maybe he needs to add something. I don't know.
no. I bet it's the there must be an X factor or something on defense, and so he has to score like basically he needs a win.
Oh,
The win would be
that's
the
who cares.
yeah. I don't
That's
know.
that's one of those ones. If going against an X Factor,
I'm
NWS, I
pretty
think
sure that's what it is.
he's probably just pressing too hard for that right now because that's like maybe that's maybe 500 XP or something. That's not the usual death scenario. It's probably just going against like Geno Atkins or something. Or no, he doesn't have Geno. Who does he got? Thinking about the
Look at this
Bengals.
hole. McCaffrey has been running free.
Oh,
This is
this guy's
beautiful
name is
blocking.
Dalton Decker. I kept thinking his name was Sam Decker, but his name was the Bengals quarterback from last cycle that Rob picked was Sam Ecker. And this guy is Dalton
Ah,
Decker. I was like,
Sam Decker was the basketball
Shooter from
player from
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. Yeah.
Yeah,
what? Oh no, that was
that
It
was
was
yeah,
Sam
Sam
Decker.
Decker,
Decker, but
yeah.
it was like
He
it was
played for the Cavs a little bit.
and he was for the Rock. He was drafted by the Rockets. That was a KK. He had like a weird cool name. Yeah, Sam
Yep.
Decker. There it is. Played hoops for Wisconsin. Yeah, thanks, Nick. Thank you. Thank you. Nick's like he's our fact checker in the chat. Like oh wow, another pick by these Carolina Panthers. Looks like Jackson takes it all the way to the house, and that should ice the Dallas Cowboys here in the fourth.
Honestly, that might help Van. He didn't want that hanging over his head. He gets kind of stressed out about that. He'll be pissed off for a little bit, but then I think he'll be able to get past this game saying that he should win the Super Bowl. He hates that. So showing everybody that he's human and his team's human.
Nah, man,
He relishes an underdog role way better than he does being top dog.
he's definitely winning the Super Bowl. I don't care. That's already been said. That is the hot take. It's guaranteed. But it's
Van's been sandbagging before we were even born.
I beg
So
you differ.
Van's been sandbagging way longer than we've been alive. So
so
he'll go right back to
There's a
poor
pretty-
me.
There's a pretty decent team out in LA. I hear
I'll,
about.
I'll give you guys some quick hits. Which is the most talented roster wise? And you can't say obviously you can't say your own team. You can't say your own quarterback Boone. We're gonna say what's the most talented roster right now in the XCFL?
Top to bottom.
Yeah, top to bottom. Ready to win this Super Bowl right now. Like if two teams were to go head to head right now, who do you think's got the most talent on their team? In the AFC, and then we'll say like AFC and NFC, like just pure talent, like roster, not user skill. We'll talk pure roster. Who would you say would get stuck into the Super Bowl right now?
Pure roster would probably be between the Panthers and the Cowboys.
And those are
That's my pick in the NFC. Just
in
roster
the
wise,
NFC.
I think
Okay.
what they have on there. Yeah,
I
just
thought-
in the NFC. Just what
Gotcha.
they have roster wise. And I'll probably put the Vikings in there too. Because with adding
that's a good
Overbay
pick.
in there, I just think that they offensively you have a juggernaut of an offense given what he's done with them. Defensively, you have the people who can get pressure. You have corners that can hold their own that are lengthy. I mean, I just feel like overall those three teams are just built for most people to be able to take them to the Super Bowl.
I would agree.
In the AFC, I think the most underrated signing or most underrated offseason move was signing Phillip Rivers. Like
Ooh, yeah.
he comes into a situation where he doesn't have to throw the ball at all, but he's already good at throwing the ball. So now
Yeah.
it's like, okay, well, we're gonna give you a decent quarterback who's probably gonna cost you maybe what is he making, like 10, 12 a year, and we're gonna give you the best running back. So I mean, you don't have to do much, just kind of tread water, be Trent Dilfer, but like on steroids. So
Trent Dilfer on steroids. That is the hot take of the day from Boone. Tosh, who do you think is the most talented that you've played in the AFC?
Pats. I mean, right now the Pats have 9 players with X Factor superstar abilities.
Wow.
It looks like it's the most. They got 5 X Factors and 4 superstars.
My
Jeez.
goodness.
I'll tell you who the worst is. That's the Giants. They're the worst by far. They have 1 superstar, and that's Kevin Zeitler. Like
Yikes.
that, I don't know how you even play. All I do because you give away your players and you give them to the Pats. Jeez, I'm looking at it right now. You asked that question, and I just want to look at superstars and that kind of stuff.
You want to hear a funny story too? He was
Let's hear
probably
it.
an ass hair away from getting that superstar. I think it's a tackle or something, drop down to normal or star, whatever our rules say, because he switched him from guard to a tackle. But because that was back in the day where offensive linemen didn't have any upgrades besides it didn't affect it at all. So it was like it would have been pretty funny if he had like absolutely zero.
Boone, good call though. Minnesota also has 9 players, but they're the opposite. They have 4 X Factors and 5 superstars. So
Yeah, I mean, between just feel like when you look at a team and you kind of play them, you kind of get to know how good they really are, especially like the Pats. Even though I don't think this probably show up in X Factors, I don't know too much about the X Factors in their line. His O line is outstanding. It's freaking amazing.
yeah,
I could not get in within an arm's length of his quarterback before he had Phillip Rivers.
the Vikings have 4 linebackers that are superstars: Darius
Wow.
Leonard, Eric Kendricks, Jatavis Brown, Anthony Barr. Then they have Daniil Hunter and Joey Bosa and Harrison Smith. So that's 7 guys on defense that are superstar. Then they have Thielen and Scotty Miller, and then we know that Overbay will be an X factor. So that's 10 right there. Once Overbay hatches from his little egg, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, he's definitely got a freaking ridiculous lineup.
The Pats, if you look at them, they got Philip Rivers, Von Miller, and they've got Derwin, Gilmore, Barkley. Then they got Kyle Van Noy, Carl Lawson, Kerrigan, Damon Harrison. So another front 7 that has a lot of X factors.
And that's a fascinating thing, man. It's like that might be the go-to strategy is basically just buy a winning team because this year it's very effective. In free agency, if you have money, you can pretty much buy an arguably Super Bowl winning team, because of the guys that people are letting go for 1 year. I'm not saying like multiple years. You're not going to buy a dynasty in free agency, but you can definitely buy a 1 year contender that's going to go out and definitely make some noise.
Yeah, if you're somebody like how Patriots did this year with what's his quarterback's name, Phillip Rivers. If you're that like one piece away, those factors kind of help that old guy still be relevant. Like Trent Williams is still relevant until he wants to retire because he has this factor ability where he blocks outside and inside runs really well. Like
He
that
does.
that type of stuff is gonna keep someone around
Hmm.
even long after you would think that their career would be over.
Exactly. But then at that point, all it is they just have to stay above that overall. So as long as they stay above that overall to get that ability, because I know if you drop below 80, you don't have any abilities anymore that are active. I think 80,
Right.
80 and 90 typically is the gap for that. But we're going to go ahead and go full screen on this one game. We got the Vikings and the Bengals that are tied up. Bengals get the ball back. 2 minutes, 55 seconds to go. The game in Dallas is pretty much over. GG, Brian and Van. We're going to go and go full screen on this one. Call this till the end. This is a crazy matchup. We've got the Cincinnati Bengals, who are, I believe, 2-5, 3-5 coming into this matchup, and I think
Yeah, and we're talking about that super roster in Minnesota, but I mean, you're not going to play 4 linebackers hardly ever. And it looks like the user skill is coming into it, and NWS trying to force a little bit too much.
exactly when you got those two defensive ends, you're just going to set them free and let them roll. You got Pat Ricard going left. with 2 minutes to go, you got this running game still plowing forward. Mark Ingram gets a nice gain, gets a 1st and 10.
Going back to the X factors, the NFC, I'm counting 23 X factors in that division. The Cards and the 49ers have 7, and the Charger or the Rams have 7. Actually, that's 24. 24 with the Seahawks having 3. So I think that's probably the division in just pure X factors and superstars. So you got 3 teams with 7, and there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 teams in the entire X or more.
100% right. We have the run going left gets absolutely stuffed. Mark Ingram has nowhere to go. Here in the chat, we've got Randy saying, "Can someone put a cap on that Tosh guy?" That's a great question. I don't know. Can we?
Well, listen, Randy right now is going to lose the game because
He's
he's
putting a
been
cap
trying
on
to get
himself.
300 yards in a win, and he's not going to get either of them. Learn from me, but I was going for Dev scenario, X Factor breakout. He's probably going for like 100 extra points for his offensive line.
Whoa, hold up, hold up. Here in the YouTube chat, we've got Robert Morlock rolling up saying, "NFC is the Viper all the way." Boone, what do you think about that? You got a pretty big fan there.
I think he recognizes that what the Vipers doing is impressive, despite how much Nick
Oh my
cannot stand
gosh.
him. Like it's hilarious. But
Oh, I think
I'm
Nick is
telling you,
perfectly fine with them, man. He gets free stats last I checked.
well, when he sees me in 2 weeks and gets smacked to the ground, I just want him to acknowledge how great Viper is.
Bro,
I
that's got to be
promise.
prime
I think.
time. That's got to be prime
Ooh,
time.
bad throw by Dalton.
You know what's crazy? I could legit lose one game and be out the playoffs. That's how
All right.
tough the NFC is this
Nah,
year. I
Tosh
could
hit
lose
it.
one game.
It's buckle down time here.
It is. Tosh
Looks
with the
like
great call. Said it's a bad throw there by Decker. Decker just absolutely whiffed on a 3rd and 6. Had a receiver, needed to make a good throw, just couldn't get it in. Nick Larson in the chat. Viper is garbage. And Max Eckerlove. Yeah, we did, Robert. We mentioned Max Ecker. Max Ecker will never die. I would have voted on I think he should be XCFL Hall of Fame material simply for that amazing marketing scheme they had for him there in Cincinnati. And wow, what a route by Scotty Miller. Little white guy with all the sauce gets up to the 50-yard line and a first
if
and 10.
NWS is listening, he just traded for Darius Leonard. He has 4 superstar linebackers, and he's got no cap space. I just want to know what he's thinking. I did not know that he was such a horrible, but I didn't know it was that bad. That
Wow.
he probably plays 2 linebackers at most at a time. But ooh, hey, how far back you going there,
That's what
Billy?
I was asking, bro.
Hey, Billy,
I was like,
relax
holy
there,
cow.
Billy.
It's
Billy,
like
happy feet, McGee over there.
just going straight
Jeez, I'm
back.
about
He's
to
like,
FaceTime the old Vikings coach after this owner,
for real.
Brock Lesnar, teaching the guys to
Brock
run backwards.
Lesnar. Brock. Yeah, Nick
Like
with
Brock
Nick.
running in the ring.
Oh, man. Ooh, that's a nice little pass, though. Oh, that was nice. I can't lie. I like the little
At least
rollout.
he went sideways.
Yeah,
on that.
yeah.
Oh, there
Instead
we
of
go.
he went east west instead of north south, or just south.
Yeah, chest out. Is that's
Man,
Irv?
man, what are you gonna? Yep, Irv. What are you gonna do, man? You're the Bengals here. I guess you gotta use your timeouts. He went out of bounds. I mean,
You save your timeout to ice him. He'll miss that field goal.
Oh, what a catch!
Maybe NWS is listening because Overbay is not taking a step back.
No, maybe. I mean, he is. He was commenting in the YouTube chat, so I assume he's listening.
Surprised he doesn't have his girlfriend texting me to leave him alone. Ooh, Overbay, feeling the pressure. gonna have to do a little clinic on how to step up in the pocket.
Yeah. Nick Larson
That's definitely
teaches
something that many people need to learn.
Nick teaches the class on pocket management. I teach the class on how to get sacked and how to roll out and throw the ball out of bounds. That's my specialty. Is basically making mobile quarterbacks useless. That's my
I mean,
specialty. I do it really well with
just
Lamar.
needs a field goal to win. Yet he's gonna go for them stats.
He is, dude. I mean, it's wow. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. He's gonna go. He's trying to win it here. But I mean, either way, if you get a touchdown here, you don't have to worry about a wonky kick. And I mean, the Bengals isn't built for a fast scoring. Now he's got to save this last time out, like Tosh said. You want to ice him, make it at least a difficult read here to try and hopefully trigger that animation. But that's a little faulty sometimes. He's playing hard, stop that inside run. Interesting play here. I've never seen the corners drop out so far while still stopping the inside. Like, I think that's really cool.
Let's see what the old NWS kicker got. Does he have that clutchness?
We will see. Is he going to fat finger
say,
it?
Bengals.
Oh, why is he not? Oh,
He's
there it
gonna be
is.
good.
I was going to say, I was like, where's the timeout? But, man, he waited just enough. So we'll see. Here it is, folks, for the game, for all the marbles. To win the game, and he gets it. Minnesota wins the game, 27. Cincinnati, 24.
Whew, snuck it in there. Dangerously.
About as dangerous as one can live from the 1 yard line. That kicker likes to live on the edge. Just like Boone in his quarterback situation. I'm pretty sure, I'm almost confident Boone is like, he's a masochist, dude. He needs to like, he loves the pain. He just wants to put himself through as much pain as possible. Or masochist. What's the word? Somebody give me the.
I don't know. You're reaching there.
I am reaching. Google. I need to like my Google dictionary. It's whatever. But anyway,
It's
there's
all about
there's
how
my
you value certain positions. That's all it is. And not to mention, like I told you, I'm over here paying Aaron Donald $30 million a year. I can't afford an Overbay. Overbay's gonna want a contract that I can't afford.
Not gonna lie, man. I mean, it's kind of smart because you either go all in for quarterback or you don't. You're either gonna pay the most to get a good guy, like me and Tosh. Me and Tosh are gonna be eating it out the ass for. Oh, that doesn't sound good either. Wow. All right, bro, we're on a roll here.
All right, guys, this has been a great stream. We're gonna head out now.
Yeah.
Words being put in mouth. Okay.
Yeah, or something being put in mouth. That's all I know. But
Jeez.
all right,
I want no part of this.
all right, boys. Great. The kinks was real. We were ironing out the kinks. It's a brand new place, brand new apartment. Or we'll call that part of the kinks that we need to iron out for next time. So, your producer is good for one WTF moment. That was your W2EF moment, courtesy of Speed Cola. Speed, cheese that gets you through your Madden game.
Later, guys.
Take it easy, boys. Everyone, have a great night.